For decades, global military supremacy has looked like this: a nuclear-powered attack submarine, carrying enough firepower to level a city, capable of projecting force anywhere across the world's oceans. Yet today, 1/5 of the entire global oil supply sits paralyzed, trapped behind a narrow 21-mile stretch of water known as the Strait of Hormuz. You might expect the United States to simply sail an aircraft carrier through the gap and force the shipping lanes open. But look at the scale of a Nimitz-class carrier next to these tugboats. In a tight, shallow corridor, a 1,000-foot-long ship drawing 40 feet of water is slow to maneuver and nearly impossible to defend. The most technologically advanced deep-water navy on Earth finds itself structurally locked out of the world's most critical shallow-water choke point. This diagram illustrates exactly how the trap works. It's called Anti-Access Area Denial, or A2AD. The strategy uses layered, overlapping threats, from coastal missiles to midget submarines, specifically engineered to turn these narrow shipping lanes into a lethal kill zone. Beneath the surface, the navigable channels are choked with thousands of naval mines, tethered to the seabed and waiting silently for a large hull to trigger their contact prongs. Above the water, swarms of small, highly maneuverable kamikaze boats hide in civilian ports, designed to rush commercial oil tankers and overwhelm carrier point defenses through sheer volume. Over the past 30 days, intense air campaigns have attempted to clear this path, but you cannot drop a bomb from 30,000 feet to destroy a submerged mine, nor can you easily spot a speedboat or a midget submarine tucked away in a crowded civilian harbor. If the Navy cannot survive entering the water to clear the corridor, the military requires a method to dismantle a maritime blockade without actually relying on the sea. To bypass these submerged explosives, the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit approaches the problem from a completely different axis, dropping from the sky to take control of the adjacent land. They execute this rapid insertion using V-22 Ospreys. These tilt-rotor aircraft take off like helicopters but fly like airplanes, allowing forces to fly high over the coastal surface defenses and cover vast distances in minutes. Their targets are the strategic islands scattered throughout the strait, like Keshm and Abu Musa. These islands feature harsh, labyrinth-like rock formations and deep canyons that directly overlook the narrow shipping lanes. This aerial assault operates under the cover of F-35B stealth fighters. Because these jets can hover and land vertically, they launch from smaller amphibious assault ships stationed safely out of enemy missile range. By securing the rugged high ground on these perimeter islands, the Marines take the geography the enemy relied on and turn it directly against them. This exact scenario is the result of a sweeping doctrinal shift known as Force Design 2030, initiated under General David Berger. It transitioned the Marine Corps away from a heavy Middle Eastern occupation force and rebuilt it into a highly mobile, island-hopping maritime strike unit. At the core of this doctrine is Expeditionary Advanced Base Operations, or EABO. The idea is to establish small, low-signature, highly lethal outposts deep inside contested territory. Once ashore, the Marines deploy mobile rocket artillery like the HIMARS, concealing the launchers inside the island's natural caves and canyons. Look at this cross-section to see how the targeting geometry is inverted. A ship's radar struggles to isolate a single truck hidden within complex rock formations. But from the elevated island, a shore-based launcher has a clear, unobstructed line of sight to a massive metal ship floating on flat water. This creates what analysts call a kill web. By linking radar and missile batteries across multiple islands, the Marines cast an overlapping net of precision fire over the entire transit corridor. The moment an enemy fast attack boat leaves port, it is tracked and destroyed by artillery stationed miles away, clearing the surface without placing a single American destroyer in the line of fire. The land is now actively hunting the sea, effectively destroying the blockade from the inside out. With the coastal missile batteries neutralized and the fast boat swarms eliminated, a protective umbrella of marine artillery now secures the surface of the strait. This hard-won security provides the necessary cover for the Navy to bring in their mine countermeasure ships. Operating at walking speed, these slow, vulnerable vessels can finally begin the meticulous work of sweeping the underwater explosives. Below them, American nuclear attack submarines are able to safely push into the shallow corridors, systematically hunting down the isolated Iranian midget subs that were previously hidden by the chaos of the surface war. Days later, the blockade is over. Massive commercial oil tankers carrying millions of barrels of crude resume their transit through the 21-mile choke point. It is a striking operational paradox. The Navy was only able to return to its own domain because the Marines first conquered the adjacent land. The crisis at Hormuz demonstrates that traditional blue water dominance, controlling the deep, open oceans, no longer guarantees global security on its own. The spread of mobile precision missiles and cheap explosive drones has turned narrow, shallow transit zones into environments far too deadly for massive warships to navigate unsupported. Securing the world's waterways now demands an agile, multi-domain force capable of standing firmly on the shore to protect the fleet at sea.